Welcome to the Face the Music podcast. What is up, everybody? My name is Matt, and I'm your host. Today, as always, we'll check out my top songs of the week, some music news, some new releases, and whatever else comes to mind. You ready? Let's do it. What is going on, everybody? How's your week? How's your month? Your 2025 so far? Once again, my name is Matt, and you're listening to the Face the Music podcast, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you for taking time out of your busy day to spend some time with me. Now, first things first, this is the inaugural episode, the debut, episode number 1. So, let me tell you a bit about myself and give you some background on Face the Music. Music has always been a major part of my life, my entire life. As early as I can remember, music has been a presence in my life. From being a fan to becoming a musician myself, to having musicians in my family inspire me and mold me. My dad is a guitarist, loves the blues and rock and roll. By the time I was 5, I knew the Blues Brothers, the Eagles, and most importantly, God on a guitar himself, Mr. Stevie Ray Vaughan. My mom is a former high school band geek, and she's responsible for introducing me to Van Halen and Tracy Chapman and Queen, and teaching me how to headbang by showing me Wayne's World as a kid. My uncle is a bassist, and when I was finding my way in music around middle school age, he taught me damn near everything I ever needed to know about The Who and John Entwistle, as well as the jam bands, and Pink Floyd, Rush, Led Zeppelin. I wound up picking up drums and guitar about the same time, in about 1999-2000 or so. I focused way more on drums for a while, though, as that's what I played in band in high school. Yes, I became a band geek. But I loved performing, so I learned the instrument, and after a couple years, one day my dad bought me a kit, and I started taking drum lessons. I wanted to be like the guys that I was watching on TV, Matt McDonough of Mudvayne, Lars Ulrich. Double bass was the coolest thing that I'd ever heard, and I wanted to do that so badly. By this point, I was balls deep in metal mode. Metallica, Mudvayne, Spineshank, Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, Slipknot, Disturbed, they were all on the come up. It was the greatest time to be a blossoming metalhead. Metal music spoke to me when I needed to hear someone else knew what it was like to be me. To not belong or fit in. To not be popular. To be bullied or made fun of. Metal music saved my life, man. Metal gave me a community, it gave me a brotherhood. I had a couple of quote-unquote bands that I played with here and there in high school, but it was really just a few kids who knew how to play some cover songs, so we would just jam on the artists that were coming around at that time, like Trivium, All That Remains, As I Lay Dying, even Hawthorne Heights. It wasn't until 2007 when I really felt passion for playing, though, and that's when I formed my first band, Requiem of Ashes, with some buddies from school. Shout out Anthony, Dan, John, who still play together after all these years. They have a band now called Old Bones, and I highly suggest everyone give them a listen. That was the first band that I was in that we wrote our own music, we recorded in the studio, we promoted it, we played in clubs. It opened my eyes to what this genre was really about. Unfortunately, after a few years, the band broke up, but the passion that I had for it never died. I kept drumming, but at that point I really also started to want to focus on guitar. I never took lessons, so I never really knew if I was doing it right, but I was having fun doing it. I began writing my own songs. I started recording on this dinky little setup I had with my laptop, but I never pursued anything with a band. Never really felt confident enough to. Cut to 2014, I saw a friend's band play on an internet radio show, and I knew I had to be a part of it. The band was called Logan's Room, and it was more on the hard rock side, but we had a lot of fun playing. We played our first out-of-state shows together. We did a small tour. We opened for lots of big acts, but as the story goes, all good things must end. After Logan's Room disbanded, I formed Burn Your Bridges in about 2017, and again, played lead guitar. We had a good run until about March of 2020, when the entire world shut down. Burn Your Bridges officially disbanded that summer. That leads me to today, February 2025. It's been 5 years next month since I've performed on a stage, but I'm still writing and I'm still recording my own music. Still tinkering with the possibility of putting another band together in the future, but for now, here we are. Here I am. Face the Music at its roots is about my love for all things hard rock and metal, but also helping the music scene that I've been involved for 18 years now. Bands in any local scene will admit that they are severely underrepresented, and aside from their own promoting, nobody really gives them a platform, which is a shame, because some of the most talented people that I've ever shared a stage with have been the bands that open the show. So on top of focusing on the bands that we all know and love, I'm going to introduce you to new bands that you may not have heard before, but definitely deserve a new set of ears. Every week, I will try to feature music from some of my favorite unsigned and local acts, and I'll also have special guest hosts and interviews from time to time. Face the Music is formed on a love and passion for music, especially hard rock and metal. Those genres define who I am and the community and brotherhood that I've been a part of for almost 2 decades. Now that about covers what you can expect, but I also want to make mention of what you will not hear. You will not hear political talk. You will not hear religion talk. I refuse to discuss any hot button topics like that. Our lives are already overrun with that bullshit to begin with, and I want you to feel at ease from it while you're here giving me your valuable time to listen to this show. When we're here, we're just friends hanging out. Alright, let's jump right in. Let's get it started with this week's top 10. Now, since I plan on keeping up with newer music, I do have to acknowledge that I am recording in mid-February, so there's about a month and a half of music that I have to include. We had Time Capsule by my friends in Soul Searcher. We had The End Will Show Us How by Tremonti. We've had March of the Unheard by The Halo Effect, Keep Planting Flowers by Stick to Your Guns, Sonder from Lost Becomes, the Genesis EP from Ani, the Headcase EP from My Dudes in Resistor, and Anti-Fragile by Metalcore Royalty, All That Remains. We also had new singles from Architects with Black Hole. We had Shinedown with Dance Kid Dance and 365, and the rave metal gods themselves, Electric Callboy. January was a damn good month for music. February, we had releases from Ginger with Duel. We had Bleeding Through's 9. We had Lacuna Coil's Sleepless Empire, In Mornings in the Weight of Oceans, and the long-awaited album from Killswitch Engage, This Consequence. We got a brand new taste of Machine Effing Head on Unbound from their upcoming album Unatoned, due out April 25th. On the 28th, we get The Earth, the Sky, and All Between by Architects. We get Venom by Enemy Inside, and we also saw the return everybody has been waiting on, the reuniting of Mr. Michael Portnoy taking his rightful seat at the throne in the mighty Dream Theater with Parasomnia. Since there is so much to catch up on, this will be a special list. My top 10 songs of 2025 so far. Check out all these songs on the Face the Music Podcast Top 10s playlist on Spotify. The link will be in my Instagram, my Facebook, and I'll have a code on screen for anyone watching on YouTube as well. Number 10, we have Lost Becomes off their album Sonder. This is their song Home. Number 9, we have Stick to Your Guns. This song is called Invisible Rain off their newest album, Keep Planting Flowers.
Just try
At number 8, we have Architects coming in with Black Hole from their upcoming album, The Sky, The Earth, and All Between. Coming in at number 7, we have Resistor with Are You Happy Now from their latest EP, Headcase. At number 6, we have Bleeding Through with their song Gallows off their recently released album 9. At number 5, we have metalcore legends themselves, All That Remains, off of their recent album Anti-Fragile. This is Cut Their Tongues Out. At number 4, we have my good friends in Soul Searcher. This is off of their recently released album Time Capsule. This is What We Found. Getting into our top 3 for this week, we have Spiritbox off their upcoming album Tsunami Sea. This is No Loss, No Love. Number 2, we see the return of Mike Portnoy to Dream Theater off their album Parasomnia. This is A Broken Man. And our number 1 spot this week goes to the mighty Machine Head with their new single Unbound off the upcoming album Unatoned, due out April 25th. Okay, everybody, let's recap our top 10 for this week. At number 10, we had Lost Becomes with Home. Number 9, Stick to Your Guns, Invisible Rain. Number 8, Architects, Black Hole. 7, Resistor, Are You Happy Now? 6, Bleeding Through, Gallows. Number 5, All That Remains, Cut Their Tongues Out. Number 4, Soul Searcher, What We Found. Number 3, Spiritbox, No Loss, No Love. Number 2, Dream Theater, A Broken Man. And number 1, Machine Head, Unbound. To check out this week's top 10 as well as every week's, you can simply scan the code on your screen now if you're watching on YouTube, or click the links posted on my socials, Face the Music Podcast on Facebook and the Face the Music Podcast on Instagram. Welcome back, everybody. Now, this would be the spot where I would include a word from our sponsors, but we don't have any of those yet. So, for now, I will just say Ghost Energy Drink, Blue Yeti Mics, Audio Technica. If you're listening, you know what to do. Now, music news, we got a lot to talk about here. Ozzy's final show has been announced. Now, while there is no way that Ozzy performs an entire set, it's being advertised as Ozzy's last show ever. This will feature the original lineup of Black Sabbath, which is huge, and admittedly, while I'm not the biggest Sabbath fan, it would be crazy to deny the impact that they've had on this genre. They've inspired just about every band that I listen to. So, now, it's funny to me that people are complaining about ticket prices to this show, but my friends, let me ask you, did you see the lineup? Tickets sold out in 16 minutes flat at about £830, but that's roughly $1,050 US. And if you want Golden Circle or VIP, you're going to have to pay more, but to say this is a once-in-a-lifetime show is putting it lightly. Not to mention, it's for a great cause. It's a fundraiser that 100% of the profits are being donated to Cure Parkinson's, the Birmingham Children's Hospital, and Acorn Children's Hospice equally. Those are three awesome causes. Now, the lineup itself may be the greatest metal lineup pretty much ever. Black Sabbath, Ozzy solo band, Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Tool, Slayer, Pantera, Gojira, Alice in Chains, Hailstorm, Lamb of God, Anthrax, Mastodon, Rival Sons. Also notable that Jake E. Lee and Rudy Sarzo will be performing this event as well, which is such a cool moment for all in attendance. Ozzy is a legend, and I'm so grateful that I got to see him live, even if it was just one time. The man has had such an insane career, and he is definitely leaving behind one of the most impactful and celebrated careers, all on the stage one final time. Now, in other news, Sevendust is back in the studio. LaJohn Witherspoon, singer of Sevendust, confirmed yesterday that the band is back in the studio writing the follow-up to 2023's Truthkiller. I can't speak highly enough of this band and the impact that they've had on me. Sevendust is one of the single most hardworking bands out there since they started, and it's mind-blowing that these guys still open as many shows as they do. If you've never seen Sevendust before live, do yourself a favor, go see them now before it's too late. With every record they put out, it begs the question, will this be the last one? They are definitely heading towards the back end of their career, as LJ has said. They've discussed it, and they know when they'd like to finish up, but nothing else has really been said. Hopefully the guys don't plan on slowing down anytime soon, because they really just keep getting better and better. Next up, we have Brendan Ellis quits the Black Dahlia murder. Brendan's been featured on Nightbringers, Verminous, Servitude. He spent 9 years in the band. Ellis declared that it was time for him to depart the band and begin the next chapter, but that he is grateful to the fans and to work with frontman Trevor, who sadly passed away. And he's proud of his contributions to the band and all they've accomplished. 9 years is a hell of a long time. That is a hell of an experience for him to be even a part of that. The whole writing process, to have the impact he made on the fans, it's incredible, and best of luck. Sleep Token published a website that includes coordinates leading their more obsessive fans to try to decode when the band will release new music. One person tweeted out, and this made me laugh, "To all my friends and family, I apologize in advance for the person I'm about to become." Sleep Token fans have a stigma about them. They make good music, but their fans do take it to another level sometimes. And, you know, it gets a little squirrely, but hey, who am I to judge? Nonpoint is in the studio now working on their first new album since 2018. They're doing something pretty cool. They're asking fans for help with the subject matter and titles for the new songs. So they want to know, from the fans' point of view, what inspires you that they can write about. This is cool. I like this concept. I think it's awesome that they can field out inspiration from their fans. Some may say that it's lazy or it's uninspired on their behalf, but what inspires the fans inspiring the band is a pretty kick-ass collaboration, and anyone that contributes, if your ideas are picked, you'll be featured in the liner notes of the new album. Now, of course, they did ask the internet, so I'm pretty curious what their reject pile will look like. I have to say, guys, I am a huge wrestling fan. Say what you will, I know a lot of my listeners probably are as well, but I love it. And that being said, WWE just announced this year's 2K25 video game soundtrack, and I am pretty surprised. It's featuring songs Suffocate by Knocked Loose, Hurt You by Spirit Box, Curse by Architects, Ratatat by Electric Callboy and Baby Metal, and Only Pain by Gojira. And while he may not be metal, he sure rocks his ass off, and Jelly Roll is also on the soundtrack with Halfway to Hell. It's also featuring Eminem, Denzel Curry, and a few others, but man, that's a hell of a soundtrack, and kudos to WWE for putting the heavy stuff directly into your fans' homes again. Finally, the last thing I have to talk about in music news is one of the biggest tours of the last 20 years is hitting America this summer. The Poison Ascendancy Tour, featuring both My Valentine and Trivium performing the Poison and Ascendancy respectively. It's a monster lineup. It's featuring support from August Burns Red, Sylosis, and Bleed on select dates, with August Burns Red taking every single date on there. Make sure that you get out there and you see one of these shows. And if you're a longtime fan of these bands, you know there are definitely there's definitely some songs out there that'll be making their live debut during this tour. As I said earlier, guys, I've been involved in my music scene for about 18 years now, and I do want to give some local bands the platform that they absolutely deserve. This week I featured Soul Searcher, Resistor, and Lost Becomes, all local to the Long Island, New York area, and I'm kindly asking you, please go listen to these amazing bands. Let me know on Instagram or Facebook what you thought, and go follow them as well. Resistor is out on tour almost nonstop, it would seem. Currently on the Hotspot Tour Part Dos. Check out their socials for all dates and venues. I know I plan on being at the show at Amityville Music Hall, Amityville, New York on April 12th, along with my good friends in Path We Choose, also the band Traders. It is such a stacked show. Also coming up soon, my boys in Monolith Zero and Tethered are playing together March 7th at Massapequa VFW. That's another rager of a show for us Long Islanders. I unfortunately can't be at that one. It's wifey's birthday, but please, please go to this one if you can. Support the homies. I've said it all over social media, and I'll say it here too. My friends in bands, if you have a show coming up, please let me know. I will do whatever I can to make sure that you have the exposure you deserve. New music too, whatever it may be. Please, just keep me in the loop. In the coming weeks, I will be having a few special guests on the show. I will have some cool stuff in the works for sure. Some friends, some bands, all people that I've met along the way in some way, shape, or form because of music. Lots of cool discussions. It's going to be fun, so I really hope that you guys tune in. That about wraps it up for this episode. First episode ever. We did it. There will be, sometimes they'll be a little bit longer, a little bit shorter than the others. But regardless of timing, I do want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me some of your time, for all of your support. I value your time. This is something I've wanted to do for a very, very long time now. And I finally decided to pull the trigger. I appreciate everyone who's had my back. Everyone who's shouted me out, who supported me, who has shared everything on socials. Every little bit counts to me. I love you guys. I appreciate it so much. And again, I value every ounce of the time that you decide to give me, and I hope to see you again on the next one. Till then, though, you've been listening to the Face and Music Podcast. Be well, everybody. Be safe, and I will see you again soon. Peace.